Hi, welcome to NonnasHere. That's me, Nonna, in an old picture, wearing a funny hat. Welcome to my channel. Today, I am joining in a collab of talented creators collaboration. The theme for today is Christmas tiered tray decor. And that's what I'm doing. I'm making a Christmas tiered tray. Now I need to tell you, when I started this craft, I had just had eye surgery on my one eye, cataract surgery, and some of my visual perception was way off, which you will see in this video. I'll point it out to you, but you'll see it. So I had to do some adjustments and a redo. But, you know, in art, there are no mistakes, only opportunities for enhancement. Enough chatting. Let's get over to my craft table and I'll show you my Christmas tiered tray decor that I made. Here's what I'll be using, this empty whiskey box. It's very, very sturdy. It has a hard plastic top and bottom. This is an empty kitty food dish. I'm going to be using some Waverly chalk ink, which is black. And the first thing I'm going to do is paint the whiskey. I'm calling it a box, but it's really has three sides to it. And it took me 2 coats to cover everything because of that white band around there. So I painted it 2 coats of black, and I painted the little kitty can, food can black. Now I have this beautiful vase that I got at Dollar Tree for $1.25. And I have these beads that I also got at Dollar Tree. They have tassels on either end, and I measured them. And with the tassels, they measure, I think it was 32 inches long with the tassels. And without the tassels, just the beads were 26 inches long. So that was a really good deal for $1.25. And I'm going to use that long string of beads. I'm measuring them there to show you how long they are. And then I have, 32 inches long with the tassels. And then I just measure the beads themselves, and those are 26 inches long. And then I have a string of beads that are tied together in a circle, and those were 5 inches circumference approximately, because it wasn't a perfect circle. And I'm going to do some paint pouring, which you've seen me do before, but this time I'm going to make my own paint pouring. The last time you saw me do it, I was using paint pouring from Dollar Tree that was already made up. I didn't have to do any mixing, but this time I'm mixing my own paint pouring. I'm going to show you how to do that. So that big jug you see in the background, that's the paint pouring medium. Okay, yeah, it was 5 inches across. Okay, so I'm going to be using acrylic paint in just Dollar Tree acrylic paint. I'm going to be using white, red, green, and black, and just plain Dollar Tree acrylic paint. And then I'm going to be using this paint pouring medium that I got a long time ago, but you don't have to buy it in big jugs like I did. You can get it at any craft store. This one happens to be called Artisan, and I paid $25 for this big jug. But unless you're going to be doing a lot of paint pouring, you don't need to buy it in this big of a jug. Okay, and so you need to know what the ratio is. So you need, if you're going to do separate colors, but like I'm going to do, you need a cup for each color. So you put in, the ratio is 1 of the paint. So I'm going to use 1/4 of a cup of paint. Of course, you can't really measure acrylic paint. to 2 of the paint pouring medium to 1 of the water. So in this case, it's 1/4 a cup of paint, 1/2 a cup of the paint pouring medium, and 1/4 a cup of water. 1 of paint, 1 of water, 2 of the medium, okay? And I'm going to set those beads aside right now, but I am going to color them too. So I'm going to measure each color in a separate cup, doing approximately, because it's hard to measure the acrylic paint, I'm just kind of eyeballing it, 1/4 a cup of the acrylic paint, 1/2 a cup of the pouring medium, and 1/4 of a cup of water. And I'm going to stir it up. Now, you're supposed to stir it so that the mixture is like milk or a heavy cream. So you just keep stirring it until you get that kind of a consistency of your mixture. And I'll show you the consistency I got for each color. Excuse me. Okay, so here I've mixed them all up. So here's the black. See, it's kind of like a milk consistency. Here's the white that I mixed up, kind of milk consistency. And here's the green. Each one is in a separate cup consistency. And then here's the red. The red got a little thick, and then you'll see what happened with the red with my poor visual perception. So now I'm going to pour them into the vase one at a time. I'm going to layer them. I'm going to put the white in first because that will be the last thing to come out of the vase, allegedly, except you'll see my perception mess things up. Okay, now I'm laying the beads out. I have this cookie tray, and I've got it covered with, what's that called? That paper, because this is very messy. So you have to have it, I covered it with parchment paper, going left and right and over the front. So this is messy, okay? So the white is going in first because it's going to come out last, allegedly. So I'm going to pour in a layer of white. Then I'm going to pour in a layer of, I think, green. Then I'm going to pour in a layer of red. But this is where my visual perception messed me up because I missed the hole at the top of the vase. So I lost a lot of red. That's all right. Then I poured in the black because that's going to go down first. And I just wanted it to give a little bit of a base. So there's my layers. Now here's where my perception messed up again. I was supposed to tilt it over and put it on the tray, but you could see that I missed the middle of the tray. That's all right. So now I'm trying to pick up as much from the parchment paper that I lost when I tilted it over because I missed the middle of the parchment paper. The beads you can see are laying in the excess paint. That's good. I wanted that. So now I'm trying to make sure that the beads get completely covered by the paint. I wanted that. All right. So now I've lost a lot of the red paint. And so now I'm just swirling it around, trying to get the interior of the vase covered. Remember when I did the pouring paint the last time, I did the paint on the outside of the vase. Now I'm doing it on the inside of the vase. So I'm twirling it around, trying to get as much of the paint that I did get into the vase around the interior of the vase. So I'm just swirling it around. Now I'm trying to cover the beads. And I'm taking the red paint stick and putting some of the red paint on the beads. Because remember, I lost a lot of that red paint. It went onto the tray. Now I'm taking a paper towel holder and I got to drape those beads to dry. They can't lay in the paint. But I have some some magnetic clips, and I'm clipping those beads onto the paper towel holder. I'm clipping the tassels of those beads onto the paper towel holder to hang the beads so they will hang and dry. That's what I'm doing. I'm still twirling that vase. and I'm still trying to get more color into my vase. Well, I'm just going to have to let those beads and vase dry, so this seems like an excellent time to introduce our host and guest host to you. So this is the Talented Creators Collaboration, and the theme is Christmas Tiered Tray Decor. And our host is DIY with Aurea and Lolly D's Creations. And our guest host is the lovely Crafting with CJ. So I'll certainly have all of their channels listed below in the description box, and you'll definitely want to check out their channels, and they will have the major playlist of everyone who is participating in today's collaboration. Now you aren't going to want to miss seeing Aurea's and Lolly D's and CJ's channels and everyone's channel who is crafting with us today, because you'll get a lot of ideas of Christmas tray decor. I want to thank them for allowing us to participate today, and I want to thank them for hosting this collaboration. All right. I don't think it's dry yet, but let's take a look at how our vase looks a couple days later. It's dry, and this is not at all what I had in mind. That part looks great, that part looks lousy. So we are going to do a do-over with the red and green, because I definitely want more red and green in that vase. So the beads look great. Happy with the beads. Beads look wonderful. Just what I wanted. The tassels look okay. Now they're real stiff. I had squeezed out a lot of the paint. They're stiff, but I can manipulate them. No problem. Love the beads. They look wonderful. They've dried. So I'm going to do a do-over with the red and green with exactly the way I did it before. I'm almost out of the red and green, but I'm going to squeeze the living daylights out of those tubes. And I'm going to see the cups cleaned up fine. Everything cleans up fine. I'm going to redo the red and green and see what happens. Okay, so redoing the red and... So while I'm redoing the red and green, hey, if you've never crafted before and you're afraid of making mistakes, stick with me. I'll show you how to make mistakes. So if you've not subscribed to NonnasHere, now's the time to do it. It's free. Just hit that red button and subscribe. Then hit the bell and the word all so you don't miss any of my videos. Be sure and comment and share my video. And hey, if you like my video, please be sure and give me a thumbs up before you leave. All right, let's get back and see if I've got that all mixed up. Looks like it's mixed up, and we're going to try it again. So there goes the green, and I made it into the vase. Now let's see if I can get the red in there. Oh, good. I got the red into the vase. That's very good. Okay, there it is. And now you know what we're going to do. We're going to swirl, and we're going to swirl. And maybe we have too much paint in there, but that's all right. We're going to swirl. And we're going to swirl until I feel like I have the whole inside covered. Now, I got to tell you, I had to let this dry for about 3 good days till it really, really dried, because you don't want to put anything inside that while it's still wet. And there's a lot of paint in there right now, okay? And like, you can never wash this or put real flowers in there with water, because it'll all wash out. Like I showed you, those cups completely washed out with some warm water and dishwashing soap. Everything does clean up. I mean, you can see what a mess my table is, but I just tear it off and put down clean paper. But the cups and everything clean up just fine. So, okay, so I'm swirling and I'm dumping out the extra paint, because goodness only knows I don't need it. But I do have to get some more red and green acrylic paint, because I used every drop that was in those tubes. So I'm just swirling, and you can see that paint is quite thick now. But man, that vase is going to be red and green when I'm all done. Okay, got a little bit there. You know, you really can't control it. All you can do is swirl it. It's art. The paint does what it wants to do. You know, that's just the way it is. Okay, so I'm swirling. I'm showing you how I'm trying to get that paint. it really just has a mind of its own. It just goes where it wants to. That's the beauty of it. You never know what you're going to get. It's sort of like that box of chocolates. All right, on to something else. All right, now this is the bottom tier that I'm going to use. Now this was already made. This is a real tier that I use at home for birthday cakes and stuff. So that one's already made and I'm going to use it. So now there's my black whiskey case, and I'm going to put a silver charger on top, and I'm going to glue it on top using E6000 and hot glue, in alternating places so that they don't touch. And that thing is so tall, I really can't show you how I do it. But there's the E6000 and then the hot glue, and you just don't let them touch. And so I hot glued the charger onto the top or the bottom, it doesn't really matter, of that whiskey case. And then I had a real heavy crystal vase, and I put that on top, and it had some grapes in it that I got at a thrift store that I've never used, and I put those on top and let it sit overnight so that it really, really stuck, and it really did stick. I mean, it's really on there. And so that is attached. Now I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm not really going to attach this to my own tier because I want to keep my own tier, because that's one we use here in the family, for birthday cakes and for cookies and things like that. But for this, I'm going to show you like I would attach it, but I'll show you at the end how I'll do it for to give away. Okay, so that's what I'm doing there. I'm just gluing the E6000 and the hot glue. Okay. All right, so this is what it looked like overnight. I had that heavy vase sitting on top of it to dry, and it is stuck really well. Now I'm going to take this Christmas tree. I threw away the box, but the Christmas trees you get at Dollar Tree. And so I got one of those, but it was too big, so I had to cut off the bottom. So I used this little tool. They aren't that hard really to cut off the bottom. So I cut off the bottom so that it would fit. And then I'm going to pull out all the branches so that they only face out one way. Then I took that little kitty cat food can that I painted black, and I put some styrofoam in it, and I stuck the Christmas tree in it. And again, all the branches are going to stick out to the front. And then I had these little red and gold styrofoam balls, and I'm going to glue those onto the Christmas tree, the little red and gold balls. Okay, so now the Christmas tree is stuck in there. And here's how the vase came out. Isn't it beautiful? It came out gorgeous. It's all dry. It's red and green, just like I wanted it to be. Oh, I'm so happy. So now I'm going to take a piece of styrofoam and stick it down in there. It's all dry on the inside. It took about 3 days to dry. They say it takes about 2 weeks to really cure. So then I have these red poinsettias that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut them down a little bit, and I'm going to stick them into the, I'm cutting down the styrofoam to fit in. Then I'm going to stick them into the vase. And then I had some other little things. I had some holly bushes that had some red berries on, and I had some curly ribbon, and there's the holly bushes. And I had some curly ribbon that I found in my stash, and I stuck that in, and I just made a little arrangement. But that vase is beautiful. It's all red and green, just like I wanted. You have to play with things. If it doesn't come out right the first time, you just have to play with it. So there it is, the holly leaves and the red berries and the red poinsettias, and there it is. So now I'm going to glue the vase. There's the Christmas tree. So I'm going to glue the can and the top of the Christmas tree to the black whiskey case. Just the top of the Christmas tree and the can, so that remember, I only pulled out the branches to the front, so the back is flat. So I'm going to glue the can and the top of the Christmas tree. Then I'm going to hot glue and E6000 the vase to the top silver charger. And I did that. And it really is stuck, okay, because I let that dry for a couple days. So here's the final reveal. Let's look at the final reveal. It is a very tall Christmas tier tray decor. So here it is, completely done. So on the bottom is my tier, and the top is the tier we made. So there's the vase with the poinsettia, and that little ring of beads is around the vase. Then the bottom tier has the long string of beads with the Christmas tree in the kitty food can, okay, with the red and gold balls glued onto it. Don't pay attention to the runner. We still have our fall stuff up, okay? So there's the vase on the silver charger with the red poinsettias, and you really can't see, but there you can see the beads are around the neck of the vase. Okay, that was the short circle of beads, all right, on the silver charger on the vase. And then the long string of beads are around the bottom tier. Now, like I said, I'm keeping that bottom tier because that's really mine. So what I'm going to do is just put a silver charger on the bottom and glue everything to the bottom, the black whiskey case and the little cat food, and the string of beads will be laid down there. So it'll be 2 silver chargers in the full tray. Once again, I want to thank Aurea and Lolly D and CJ for hosting the Talented Creators Collaboration. We certainly appreciate you doing that, and thank you so much to everyone for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I hope to see you at NonnasHere again very soon. Bye!